evil. But lucky. Well, if I'm cutting a lot of this video, it's because my kids keep making noise. So, hey, it happens. So welcome back to my channel. I am Sean, the Awkward Anomaly, or now known as the Awkward Anomaly, because YouTube had decided that it didn't like my old channel.
You're a freak with a red nose and nobody likes you.
So, something for you to remember as you're watching these videos, I am not a doctor. I am not an authority. I am not a professional. I do not have any medical degrees. All I have is my experience. Now, some people may experience things a different way. That's okay. I still hope that this will help some of you, and if it doesn't help you, I'm sorry. Maybe you could send me some of your information, and so I can get it out there to the world.
The bottom line, not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen! No, not gonna happen!
And share someone else's experience, because all I can really share at this point is mine. So this video is really talking about leading up to the orientation. If you're unsure of what orientation is, I know in my experience here in Texas, it was really determining whether or not you're going to get on the list, where you'll be on the list, and if you're going to be a good recipient for an organ. There are certain changes I had to make right from the get-go. First was go low sodium. Sodium is in everything. It causes you to retain fluid. It causes you to feel terrible. I mean, it just isn't good for you to have excess amounts of salt. If you weren't aware what sodium was, it's salt.
Fork! We can't eat soup!
I don't think you're stupid.
So by having so much salt, you gain weight. And that's very bad because you need to have a lower BMI that doesn't say you're morbidly or that you're really obese, because they have to cut through that. Think about that. If you have to cut through a steak and it has fat all around it, it's not as easy to cut and it's not as easy to fillet, for lack of a better word.
Oh, that's not good. I'm not happy. Oh, no.
And so for me, I know in my experience, there's also the eyeball test. For instance, my BMI has always been high because I've always been short and I've always been heavy. So when the doctors came in, they weren't expecting me to be who I was. They were expecting someone a lot more obese. So that does play a factor. So if you're preparing for orientation, you're preparing all that stuff, get yourself as slim as you can and get yourself looking good, because that does make a difference. There's what's on paper, and then there's also what people see. They have to judge. They have to make a determination. You're going to have swelling. And the low sodium will help some of that, but you're still going to have it. So do your best to keep low sodium to keep your swelling down. Swelling, it's really just fluid. It's fluid in your system that can't get out. So if you have paracentesis, you will notice that a lot of that fluid will leave your body. So there are certain things you really need to do is stop eating out so much. There is so much sodium in everything you eat. If you go to restaurants, even if you order a salad, there's tons of salt in that salad. They do that because they need it to taste good, and salt is awesome. I mean, let's be real. But you got to start looking at some new foods. Start eating a whole lot more fresh foods, a lot more fruits and vegetables, a lot more salads, and look at the dressing too, because dressing will make a very big difference. Look at lean meats. I eat a whole lot of lean meat, and I really love pasta. So I eat a lot of pasta with lean ground beef or turkey in particular, and then also get some low sodium pasta sauce. Now, some of that stuff says low sodium, but it's just a little less sodium. So make sure you check the labels. You want to try to keep sodium pretty low. You can't exceed 2,000 milligrams a day. So you got to have these new foods, these healthier foods, fresh food. Okay, it's really a simple concept, but it's very hard to do, just because the simplicity of fast food, the simplicity of getting soup in a can and having steak and potato soup out of a can is so easy. but you have to have control over some self-control over what you put in your body. Soda. Things with a lot of carbonation, things with a whole lot of sugars, Gatorades, Red Bulls, energy drinks in general. You have to avoid those drinks. And the way I found out is my doctor said, I can tell you're drinking those, stop it. Which felt really good. And then, of course, I think this should be obvious, but I know it's not. Zero alcohol.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Absolute zero. Even if it's beer battered shrimp, okay? Even if something is cooked in alcohol, don't have it, okay? You cannot have any alcohol. It damages your liver every single time it hits it, especially if you have cirrhosis, because your body cannot process it. It's going to dump it right in your body. You're going to keep gaining weight. You're going to keep getting sick. And before you can even have your orientation, is you really need to go 6 months without a drop of alcohol, and go 6 months, without smoking, without dipping, without any sort of recreational drug, anything. Okay, you really, that's the only way you're going to have the best chance to get yourself healthy and also to get on that list. You got to get your body ready for major surgery. You need to be able to heal. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You don't need to be super macho. You don't need to have muscles. You want to have them because you need the protein, and you need protein in order to heal.
Hey, don't you want a washboard stomach and rock hard pecs?
No, I want a flabby gut and saggy man breasts.
So you may gain some muscles, great, but you don't need to be lifting weights. You really need to just be making sure your lungs are in shape, your heart's in shape, and your body is able to heal itself. You got to prepare for that, and they're going to see that in orientation. Can you handle it? They don't want to put you in harm's way. They want to make sure that you'll be able to heal and that you'll be a great candidate for a liver transplant. So I hope this answers some of the questions that probably exist leading up to orientation. If you have orientation, I don't know if every state's the same or not, but that's how Texas works, or at least my hospital, at the very least. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I hope this answers some questions, and shoot me an email, or write comments down below, or follow my Instagram and ask me questions there. Self-promotion.